I think one of the key differences between artists and non-artists is a level of observation. So, for example, if I were to hang out with my friend Dave, right, my observations would probably be very basic. Like, that's Dave. He's over there on the couch, right? Now, if I were tasked with playing Dave in a movie, I'd probably scrutinize his mannerisms a lot differently. You know, I might kind of analyze his posture. How's he holding himself? How does he use his expressions? And I might come to some observations, conclusions like he doesn't really smile with his whole face. He kind of smirks with half his face, kind of like. Or I might find that he gesticulates with every single word. Every word gets its own gesticulation. And this is why I think is the difference that the artists are observing on a different level. So some of you might know, some of you might have visited America, right? Where not only do they sell you donuts, they also sell you donut holes, right? Where they've made a little ball out of the dough that they'd usually poke out of the donut where the hole becomes, right? And they sell you donut holes, right? Jerry Seinfeld has this hilarious bit sketch piece where he talks about the incongruency and the illogical naming of that, right? He says, you can't sell a hole. A hole is nothing. A hole is empty. A hole is space. If you bought a bag of donut holes and they were truly donut holes, the bag would be empty. And he does it really well, and I'm butchering it now. I'm not doing it justice. But it's this observation that is improperly labelled, and the comedy is based on this observation, and he does it really well, and he exaggerates, and he points out all the illogical points of it, but it's all based on an observation, right? And this is where I think the artist uses his observational skills. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall, which was a huge lyric. It was such a big hit for Pink Floyd, right? And whilst it is very good, succinct, well written language, it's not a song about a bricklayer, right? It's not a song about a bricklayer singing to his bricks. It is a commentary, it is an observation on what it's like to be in school, right? That Pink Floyd observed that whilst you're in school, you're very much anonymous. You're just one of masses, that your individuality is taken away from you. You're not seen as special. You're just one of many, right? And they made that observation, and then they put it into nice words, but the nice words are built on the observation. And that observation resonated with a lot of people. It resonated with a huge amount of audience, and therefore it made a hit, right? Because other people could see what they're saying. They could see the assertion that Pink Floyd were making, and it resonated with them. Yeah, school is kind of like that. You're kind of anonymous. You're just another brick in the wall. The burned hand teaches best. After that, advice about fire goes straight to the heart. That's J.R.R. Tolkien. And as well as it being a beautiful turn of phrase and succinctly done, it's resonated with me because it's so true. It's so true. Like, you could be told not to do something 100 times, and yet the biggest lesson, the biggest learning is when you actually do it. That experience is the best teacher. That you can't be told what to do, that sometimes you actually learn it by yourself. That your parents might tell you lessons that they've learned, like, don't drink too much, but it's only when you have an absolutely terrible hangover that you actually realize, okay, I drank too much. This is a lesson to take on to the next night. Don't drink as much, or just quit drinking altogether, And whilst it is a good turn of phrase, it's all built on this observation that Tolkien could see in the behavior of people and how they took advice. that they were going to do what they wanted to do anyway, and they only learned through experience. So, if my hypothesis is correct, and observation is a true foundational differentiating skill of these great artists, well, that's great news. That's very empowering news because that is a skill you can practice anytime, anywhere. You know, it's free. You can do it in your free time. You can do it whenever you want, right? Because it's not like skiing or horse riding where you need to spend a lot of money just to practice, right? You could do it whenever you want, right? And what I think it means to be an observer of the world, and what I think these separates these artists, is that they are kind of students of human behavior. You know, they're looking to see what resonates with their audience. They're looking to see how the world works. They want to to find a new angle, or kind of open up a new insight, or highlight a peculiar unquestioned behavior, right? Like Jerry Seinfeld did, right? That was just an incongruency that no one before him had questioned, and he just zoned in and found the humor in it. So I hope this resonated with you. I hope that it helped you on your journey, and I hope you have a great day. Thomas.